I love using metaphors and similes. They're both figures of speech, one being used directly to describe something like, time is a thief, versus a simile that compares two things using the words as or like. Time is like a thief. Churches are like restaurants. Some are buffet while others are 5-star. Christians sometimes try to excuse their actions and explain away certain Bible verses while affirming others. I call this buffet Christianity, where people decide what bread to eat and what bread to ignore, just like a buffet. I've heard Christians excuse some verses and stories in the Bible, claiming they aren't as important because it happened a long time ago, or it happened only once. For instance, the story of Jesus flipping tables in the temple in Matthew 22:12-17. Jesus was angry because the temple had become all about commercial buying and selling of goods and services rather than worshiping God. What was the only thing that could make Jesus mad? Turning his house into a den of thieves. Jesus only did this once, but it's mentioned 4 times in the Bible, in every book of the Gospel. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all talked about it. Jesus was crucified once. He was resurrected once. But they're crucial parts of the whole story, aren't they? Matthew 10:34 says this, "Do not think that I came to bring peace on earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." The entire Bible as a whole is an important book because each book, chapter, and verse are small parts of a whole sword. Jesus says, "I have not come to bring peace but a sword." The Bible is our sword to fight the devil. 1 Peter 5:8 says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour." In Mark 1, after John the Baptist baptizes Jesus, he immediately is driven into the wilderness, where he's tempted by the devil for 40 days and 40 nights. And how does even Jesus fight the devil? Even though he could banish him away with a whisper. In Matthew 4:1-3, it says this, "Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, afterward he was hungry. Now, when the tempter came to him, he said, 'If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become bread.'" So first of all, let's recognize that the tempter, the devil, will come at our weakest moments, just like he did with Jesus when he was hungry. But what does Jesus say? He responds in Matthew 4:4 with, "But he answered and said, 'It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God.'" Even Jesus uses the sword of God to fight the devil in his weakest moment. So why wouldn't you? Be weary of buffet churches, because a sword used in battle is only as good as its parts. How effective is a sword without a handle, a blade, or a sheath? It's the parts as a whole that make it effective. And therefore, churches that become a marketplace instead of a place of worship, churches that talk about tithe but never talk about deliverance, they have a reckoning coming. Just because the Bible only mentions something once doesn't lessen the lesson. America is like a buffet. You're given several options that make you feel like it's customized and catered to the individual. You can reject and accept whatever you want. That's that buffet mentality. But the wealthiest people in the world, they don't eat at buffets, do they? No. In fact, many buffets have all sorts of evil lurking around every corner. A 5-star restaurant isn't even how the wealthiest people eat. The wealthiest people have a master chef who comes to them wherever they are. And you don't tell the chef what's on the menu. No. He tells you what you're going to eat because he knows your diet better than even you do. Churches are kind of like restaurants. Some are like buffets, letting you pick and choose what daily bread you want and what you don't. While the most elite will deliver to you the best of the best. The master chef who comes to you wherever you're at and gives you not what you ask for, but what he knows that you need based on his expert opinion. It's your choice. But think about it. What's better for your health? The buffet or the private chef?